the C8 RS6, probably one of the most beautiful Audis produced recently. And Audi had a hard job topping the C7 RS6, but what a job they did. They smashed it out the park. I think this is the best performance all-rounder you can buy. Most will argue it's the M3 Touring, but that doesn't have what this has, and that's a V8 engine. I'm Max Satovani, and welcome to Driven Plus. First, I'd like to say a massive thanks to Mike at EJP Automotives for lending me this beautiful Audi RS6, and this is actually for sale. So if you fancy the look of this particular RS6, get in touch with us, so we'll put you in touch with Mike so you can buy this beautiful looking car. Anyway, under the bonnet sits this 4-litre twin turbocharged V8 pushing out 600 horsepower and 800 Newton meters of torque, which is more than the predecessor, which is what you'd expect. Anyway, Audi say it'll do 0 to 60 time of 3.6 seconds. I think it'll do it quicker, so let's find out. So it's time to launch the Audi RS6 from 0 to 60. On your screen now are the stats and figures on this car. Audi say 3.6 seconds, but I think we'll be able to get quicker. But let's see. Stability settings have got to be in sport. Left foot firmly down on the brake to engage launch control. Right, come on Audi, let's have you. That's quick. 3.44 seconds. Wow, for a 2-ton thing, that's absolutely rapid. I don't need to go again. That just shows you how quick this car is. Back to the review. Next, we're going to talk about the exterior design, and especially starting with the front, and how aggressive does that look. And one particular design piece I love are the lights. Just watch this. I'm going to press the hazards, and they light up in a swoosh motion. That's so epic. Individual lights all going at the same time. Yeah, fair play Audi, you smash your light design. Moving on to the side profile of this car, and how gorgeous does this look. The silhouette is just incredible. Now, comparing it to the C7 and obviously this model, the C8, if you put them side by side and look at the rear quarter, the C8 is more sleek, it's more pointed, and it just gives that much more of an elegant look for me. Now, coming here is on Vossen 22-inch alloy wheels, and they look really, really smart. And behind them are 10 piston calipers. And the G's this generates under braking is insane. Now, coming to the back of the car, and it's really hard to pick something really bad out of the RS6. It just looks good from every angle, and I think it looks the best from the back personally. Now you've got this bit of a spoiler going on here. I love the black strip that Audi's putting along here, and all the carbon fibre. There's massive diffuser, and of course the RS traditional oval tailpipes, which sound something like this. And if we put the car in dynamic mode, just sounds it sounds beastly. Now, the main thing why you'd buy an Audi RS6 is its boot space. It gives you 565 litres, good enough to fit a human body. I think we get 2 of you in there, won't we?
Easy.
Yeah, easy. In the back of the car, it feels like a premium place to be, and you'd expect it to be as well, because it's an expensive car. And that brings me on to the price of the Audi RS6. And the starting price of this car in the UK is £115,000, which is a lot of money. However, RS cars do tend to hold their value pretty well, better than AMG and M cars. So yeah, if you're in the market for one, like even used ones are really expensive, but if you're in the market for one, yeah, I wouldn't be so bothered about going new. The cabin for me is a massive upgrade from the C7. Everything just feels cleaner and sleek, and it matches the personality of the exterior design of the car. And even with the steering wheel, you get Alcantara as well. It's really good to hold, and it's thin as well, which I like. And you've got these carbon fibre trim going on, which is exposed. Love all that. And you've got the 2 screens going on. You've got one screen dedicated to your infotainment and your rear view camera, which is all good. The map is pretty responsive as well. But then obviously all your climate controls are, yes, they're all electronically in this screen here, which I don't mind on this, because you've got a screen dedicated to climate controls. So as far as that goes, I'm not too bothered about that. Now, the seats are really, really comfortable as well. They're super supporting, and they're diamond stitch as well. They're heated and cooled. You've got your sunroof going on as well. This pretty much is one of the best cabins to sit in. And on a day like today, the sun's out, you can open the sunroof and really hear that V8 scream. Yes, what a cabin it is. Let's get out onto the road. So on the road, I want to know, how does it shift its weight? And we're going to find that out by going down this narrow road here. It's a really good road to test the cornering out. And talking about the turning circle there has been greatly improved. That's because it had one of the major improvements of 4-wheel steer. And this is a heavy car, 2-ton, big car. Now comparing it to the C7 RS6, that was pretty good in the corner, but you could all of a sudden start to get washed away. So let's find out how this one responds in the corners. So as you can see, this is a great road to test the cornering capabilities of a car, and I have to say you can definitely feel the rear wheels turn, providing you more turning. And how does it compare to the C7? It's much more agile, I have to say. But if we push it a little bit more, again, it's still not going to hide its weight. But for a big car, I'm seriously impressed. Where this car does come alive, however, is when you apply full throttle coming out of the bend, as we are here, the Quattro system grips you and sends you into a different dimension. This thing is blisteringly fast. Wow. Now, the reason I picked the Audi RS6 over the M3 Touring, now the M3 Touring you'll be able to chuck around much more confidently than the RS6 because it's a lighter car and it's an M car that derived really for the track. But the reason I'd go for the RS6 is because of that. That V8, it's so torquey, so bassy. I absolutely love a V8, and you don't have to enjoy a V8 going fast, even at low speeds. 20-mile-an-hour zone here in Wales, thanks to Mr. Drakeford. It's just wafting along, providing you really deep tone, grunt about it. Yes, and I love it. If you see an Audi RS6 driver smirking, that's because he is enjoying the sound of that V8, and the best thing is definitely when you do this.
The Quattro system still works in the same way the old RS6 did. Under normal driving conditions, the power split is 40-60. However, the system can send up to 85% of its power to the rear wheels when needed. So what drivetrain modifications have Audi made?
As I mentioned before, 4-wheel steer is one, but the other is a sport differential, meaning it can send torque independently to each of the two rear wheels, which helps combat understeer. Ah shit, I did it. I mentioned understeer in an Audi review. Ah, sorry Audi. Now, although you do have these massive 22-inch Vossen alloy wheels with a 30 profile tyre, and the fact that it's a heavy car, the suspension does an amazing job at providing you a silky smooth ride. I'm taken back by how well this car rides. And when you come to the corner, stiffen the suspension up and it provides you really good stability through the corners as well. Now, you do get two different suspension setups on the Audi RS6, and this has the air suspension, hence why it gives you a really good ride. But you can also get the coil springs, and it'd be interesting to test them back to back to see what the difference is really, because I would have thought the air suspension would have added a bit more weight than the coil springs. But I thought, yeah, I think the air suspension is definitely the one to have, and even the new Audi RS6 Performance, which is the only RS6 we can get in the UK now, I'm pretty sure of it, you get air suspension as standard with that car, and which is brilliant. That's the one to go for on this car. It provides you the best drive possible. And when you're done just wafting along, all you have to do is engage sport mode on the gearbox and just bring the lever down like that. And now we're going to unleash the beast. Wake up 4-litre V8. Ho, ho, ho! 600 horsepower. Woohoo! Talking about the gearbox, as you've seen then, which responds really well. ZF8 gearbox, one of the best gearboxes ever made. It's just so good at low speeds, and even when you want to give it some as well. It's super responsive. Put it in manual mode as well. Downshifts are great, and the upshifts are crisp. Yeah, brilliant gearbox, it really is.
How does it compare to the likes of the Mercedes E63 AMG and the BMW M5?
Well, that's a really good question, and I'm lucky enough to drive all three cars now, and I own an M5 competition. Now, I will say the M5 and E63 definitely had more of an edge to them, maybe because they were on coil springs, maybe they were a bit more of a harsher drive. But the RS6 is much more refined, and it will hold its value better, much better as well, because the M5s, they love to depreciate, and so do the E63s. And that's I think one of the main selling points for the RS6 is that they hold the value really well.
A massive thanks to Mike at EJP Automotive for lending me this beautiful Audi RS6 today. Now if you are in the market for a Audi RS6 and you like the look of this one and you want to buy it, get in touch with us so we'll put you in touch with Mike. I'd like to thank you for watching today. Leave a like on the video, subscribe to our channel and make sure you don't miss out on any of our latest uploads by clicking the bell icon. Anyway, we'll see you next week. Thank you.